Yo, welcome back to Containing Luxury. On today's episode, we're actually going to be doing a Q&A with a local shipping container builder that did a private residence out here in Jupiter, Florida. Let's get started. All right, so we've prepared a couple of questions since he has experience, actually the only experience of anyone I've met so far, that's constructed successfully a shipping container home here in Jupiter, Florida. So I prepared a couple of questions for you.
Shoot.
The first thing, I guess, is how long did it take you to build once you got the idea that you wanted to build it?
Well, it took us twice as long as we thought.
Always.
Always, right? And granted, we didn't have much experience going into this. I developed one piece of property in my entire life, and that's called Guanabanas.
Okay.
So I had to take that project through site plan approval with the town of Jupiter. And when I thought about doing this, I said, how hard can it be after that?
Yeah, exactly. That's a big restaurant on the water.
Yeah, with 8 parking spaces. That question was soon answered, how difficult can it be?
Yeah.
Because they said no to this. And then I said, okay, then I'm going to build a house. I'm going to make it look like a shipping container, and you can't stop me from doing that. And they realized I was serious. And, you know, this is what we negotiated. They insisted on white for whatever reason at the time. I forget when, and we figured we'd be done in 3 to 6 months. It ended up taking us a year.
Wow.
And part of the reason for that is inspectors would come here and they would take one look at this thing and they would turn around and leave, not wanting to put their job at risk.
Yeah.
Because they had never done anything like it. That delayed us considerably.
So of that year, do you think, like, what was the breakdown, do you think, of like just permitting and architecture versus actual construction time?
6 months and 6 months.
Yeah, that's about what I figured, 50-50.
Yeah.
So a lot of that preliminary work, I mean, keep in mind too, we're building down in South Florida, we have hurricane codes, so maybe this could be completely different for you. If you're in California, I'm sure it'll take you 10 years to build the same thing.
Yeah. Although it's quite popular in California.
I know, yeah. So maybe Florida needs to make it easier. But that's good to know. So, whatever time frame you think it's going to take you, always expect more.
Yeah.
All right, so has it been a lot of maintenance over the years?
Well, yes. In fact, it needs a paint job right now. We're constantly using OSPO to remove the rust. And about every 2 years, we've painted the exterior.
Okay.
And we're at that point now where probably before the end of this year, we'll have a new coat on there. That's been the majority of the maintenance. Other than that.
Yeah, because, I mean, pretty solid structure.
It's solid. And, plumbing, electricity, we have an instant hot water heater, propane gas for the hot water.
So other than that, just typical maintenance you'd find at any residence.
Yeah.
So guys, as always, quick chime in, Blackout Coffee, great holiday gift, link in the description. Small family-owned company, roasted right here in Punta Gorda. They have a bunch of different blends, and it's holiday time, keep you nice and warm. Link in the description, coupon code, free shipping. Back to the video. Have you ever lived in it, or was it just an idea for rental use?
Yes, to answer your question, every time there's a hurricane, this is where I come.
Makes sense.
It's my hurricane plan because I live at the beach in Jupiter, and the hurricane watch is issued. This is where I head with my family and friends.
Okay.
We can accommodate up to 8 people in here, so we've had some pretty good hurricane parties over the years.
Might as well use them for something.
Such a complete surplus of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think you're in the video.
What'd you get me doing?
No, you're in the video, Louis.
The grinding? Oh, I'm in the video.
Louis,
Like, get out of the way.
Outtakes,
get out of
yes. I hope we keep this in there. Did you use a contractor or were you the owner builder?
I had a contracting license available to me
Okay.
because I already had a primary residence
Gotcha.
And you can't do an owner build
Yeah, with a primary residence.
with a primary residence. So, but we only had a contractor in name.
Okay.
We paid him the cost of additional workman's comp
Yep.
insurance, but we assembled our own ragtag team of workers, with the exception of, you know, you have to get a certified plumbing,
Yeah, plumbing,
contractor, electric, and roofing.
Yep.
So we had all that, but I mean, I hired a guy out of the Philadelphia shipyards. I was trying to stay sober every day, and he lit the place on fire. I can't tell you how many times. He was a wreck, but he did such freaking good work that he made it right through to the end, just about.
Awesome. If we can touch on cost, everyone always wants to know, was it cheap, you know, or not cheap, but inexpensive, or was it, you know, something that it ended up costing you a lot more than you ever expected?
I'll preface the answer by saying, if somebody's interested in building with shipping containers and their primary driving force is to save money,
Yep.
I would advise them to reconsider. Having said that, I think ultimately we did save some money because it was an owner build,
Yeah.
and we were able to cut some corners there, but it didn't come without brain damage.
Exactly.
Also, it
A lot of
was there was a
time.
cost associated with it, whether it was money, blood, sweat, or tears.
Yeah.
You know, you got to give it up somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now a lot more doors are opening up than when you kind of took this project on. Now there are some more options probably, and a lot more research can be,
Yes.
you know, so you had a lot of headaches you had to kind of figure out.
Yes.
But even with that being said, that's kind of the same thing that I touched on before in some of our videos, that there's like a design to make these the most economical, and if you vary off of that,
Yeah.
that it's not any cheaper. You know, I
Right.
think about as a contractor, I'm doing everything I'm doing in a regular house,
Yeah.
and in some case even more.
Yeah.
You know, so some of the costs, it's like, you know, if you hired a contractor to build it, it may have cost you more because there's the time in figuring out things that, you know, you took on the headache and you had
Yeah.
that headache yourself. But if
Yeah.
you're paying somebody, you know, there's an hourly cost to that person trying to get over some of these hurdles
Yeah.
if it's their first project, or
Yeah.
my
And
alarm goes off in the middle of an interview again.
And I started out with this wide eye idea. Man, this thing's only costing me $3,000 delivered per container.
Exactly.
Man, I'm going to get out of this cheap. Yeah. And again, I think it was probably a lot less than if it was a traditional build. But it's all in the finishes.
Yeah.
Like, this is a glamping finish. Nothing real fine about it, but it provides the guest with all the creature comforts. It just doesn't have a high degree of finish. And so, yeah, you can deliver this product nearly complete for $60 or $70 a square foot.
Yeah.
But, you know, that remaining 30% could double the price.
Yeah. And then even site work as well
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
included. So then,
Yeah.
you know, add a couple, and that varies so drastically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of open ends to that, which actually is a good transition because I had a question about your foundation. So I know you went slab.
Yeah.
What was the driving force behind slab versus footings and?
It was the architect,
Okay.
and it's overbuilt, overpoured.
Okay.
I mean, we could have used helix pilings, cement pilings, stem wall.
That's what I was thinking originally on some of my designs, was like stem wall or
Saves
doing
money.
the pilings.
Saves money, and I think it's probably more environmentally conscious.
Yeah.
Because you want porous landscapes.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you pour slab, it's not porous anymore. So if on the addition we're going to do here, it's going to be stem wall or pilings.
Okay. Yeah, it does seem like down here, from just what I've seen proposed to the building department, they don't want the open foundation with just pilings. It seems like you can do the pilings, but then you have to fill it in with a stem wall around the perimeter.
Okay.
So with an access somewhere.
Well, it's still a lot less concrete.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And then you
Yeah.
can still fill the the bottom with dirt and
Yeah.
know, and grade up to it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, that's the Q&A for today on the only Jupiter shipping container home that I can think of.
Yeah, it is the only one. If you want to find it on Airbnb or Facebook, go to Headwaters Jupiter.
And we'll put a link in the description. And if we missed anything or you guys have any questions, hit the comments below. and we'll catch you guys on the next one.